Hey guys, game one review. Didn't quite end the way that we wanted it, but it was after a very long hiatus, and I think we did play mostly okay, at least until the very end. Then we had a lot of defensive and mental breakdowns, and we'll get into that in just a second. But final score is Tri-Cities 3, Portland 2 in overtime. In the first, Tri-Cities was actually the first to have the mental breakdowns, and they have two kind of back-to-back penalties. First one's at 2 minutes, and that's Nick Andrews for boarding. Then, at 5:03, Goulian gets high sticking. We answer with a power play goal. That's a way to start off a season. Mason Manick gets it at 6:34. They're from the Lorne and Bromberg. So, action kind of dies down a little bit. Also, CHL.TV has a lot of technical difficulties still, and I missed quite a bit of the first period. But right as I turn it back on, Tri-City scores. So 17-12, Sloan gets the goal from Greenway and Melnyk. Tri-Cities also gets a really late hit on one of the Winterhawks. I didn't quite see who it was, but Manick was not happy about it, and he goes after Brown, and they both go off for fighting. A little bit later, Portland gets a goal at 18:28. That's Reese Newkirk from Simon Knack. It was a really nice 2-on-1 entry. Newkirk fires it on the ice towards the pad. I think maybe he was going for a rebound, because that's what he ends up doing. Gets his own rebound, stuffs it in the net. That is exactly why we follow our shots. So then about 30 seconds left in the first. Giannuzzi stops a nice 2-on-1 breakaway for Tri-Cities. Anyway, start of the second, right off the bat, 23 seconds into it, Mutala gets a penalty for holding. Again, action dies down a little bit, but during that time, I also had another CHL.TV technical difficulty, and I missed quite a bit. But not a whole lot went on, thankfully, and I joined back in. At 10 minutes, 30 seconds, we start our mental breakdown. Cade Nolan gets it for interference. Luckily, we kill off the penalty, but not too far after. Actually, that was their power play goal. They got a power play goal on that one. Mutala, the guy that was in the box before, and he gets an assist from Zazula and Connor Beauchard. Then Tri-Cities takes another penalty at 13:28, and that's Jack Barnes for delay of game. Went over the glass without a tip, so that'll get you in the box. And then here comes our mental breakdown. Right at the very end of the second, Cisic takes a 2-minute minor for roughing. So Tri-Cities gets to start off the third on the power play. Luckily, they don't score. We kill it off. And not a whole lot happens in the third. Maybe the guys are getting tired. I'm not exactly sure. But a lot of back and forth. Nothing really going on. Other than one penalty each. Tri-Cities, Lahui, I think is his name. I could be pronouncing that wrong. But he gets a checking to the head. Not cool. I mean, hopefully they have some sort of disciplinary hearing on that. Probably not, but we can hope, right? Portland then takes a penalty. That's, again, Nick Cisic for interference. You'll see his name again, unfortunately. So, third period ends, tied 2-2, going into overtime. Portland decides to go for the offense is the best defense type of approach, and starts with 3 forwards. But unfortunately, like I said, our mental breakdowns start happening here. And we take our first penalty at 1 minute and 11 seconds into the overtime, and that's Jaden Dureau for tripping. And then about 1 minute and 15 seconds later, Nick Cisick gets a penalty for cross-checking. That leaves it on to a 5-on-3 power play in overtime. Not good. Tri-Cities gets the power play goal and game winner in overtime. That was Samuel Huot. I could be pronouncing that one wrong too. Please forgive me. So Tri-Cities gets their first win against the Portland Winterhawks in 2 seasons by beating us in overtime. Shots on goal. We were doing really well in the first. We were up 14-7 shots in the first. Then Tri-City starts coming back. In the second, they hold us to 10. They get 15. And then, like I said, they were pretty tired in the third. So Portland only had 4 shots while the Americans had 9. In overtime, we had 1, they had 2, one of which was the game winner. So, other stats, looks like Tri-Cities was 1 for 5 on the power play, Tri-Cities was 2 for 5 on the power play, and we were just 1 for 5. Power play was the deciding factor in this game. That's my review. Hopefully you guys like it. Please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you after game 2. Thanks.